My wife is leaving me, and I don't know what to say.
A Coldplay kiss cam just destroyed a CEO's entire life in 10 seconds flat. The stadium lights dimmed as 65,000 fans screamed for Coldplay to take the stage at Gillette Stadium in Massachusetts. Nobody expected that within minutes, a simple kiss cam would create one of the biggest corporate scandals of 2024. The massive Jumbotron screen began scanning the crowd, looking for couples to feature during the traditional romantic moment that happens at every major concert. The camera swept across excited fans before landing on two people sitting close together in premium seats. Andy Byron, the married CEO of tech company Astronomer, was captured with his arms wrapped around Kristin Cabot, the company's chief people officer. They looked comfortable, intimate, like a couple who had done this many times before. But here's the problem. They weren't supposed to be together. Both were married to other people, and one was the boss while the other handled human resources for the entire company. The moment they realized thousands of people were watching them on the giant screen, pure panic set in. Cabot immediately covered her face and turned away while Byron visibly panicked and ducked down. Their reaction said everything. This wasn't an innocent friendship or a casual work relationship. The fear in their eyes told the real story. Chris Martin, Coldplay's lead singer, noticed the awkward situation and joked that they were either having an affair or just very shy. The crowd erupted in nervous laughter, but people in the stadium knew they had just witnessed something explosive. Phones came out immediately. Videos started recording. Within minutes, the footage was spreading across social media platforms faster than wildfire. The woman who first posted the video online stood by her decision to share it. She understood she had captured something significant, something that needed to be seen. The internet took over from there. Millions of people watched the clip, trying to figure out who these two people were and why they looked so guilty when caught on camera. Internet detectives worked quickly and identified the pair as Andy Byron, CEO of Astronomer, and Kristin Cabot, the company's chief people officer. Astronomer is a successful tech company based in New York that builds software for data operations. They help big companies manage their information better. Until this moment, they were known for innovation and growth, not scandal. The discovery sent shockwaves through the business world. Byron wasn't just any CEO. He was the leader of a company that promoted workplace ethics and professional standards. Cabot had just joined Astronomer in November 2024, and Byron had publicly praised her hiring, calling her leadership exceptional and her expertise deep. Months earlier, Byron had announced Cabot's hiring as a perfect fit for the company. Now those glowing recommendations looked completely different. Did Byron hire her because of her qualifications or because of their personal relationship? The personal details made everything worse. Kristin Cabot is married to Andrew Cabot, who runs Privateer Rum and comes from a well-known Boston family. Property records show that Kristin and Andrew Cabot bought a house together in April 2024, just months before the concert incident. This means she had recently made a major commitment to her marriage, while apparently carrying on with her boss. Andy Byron also appears to still be married, with no divorce records found. So both people caught on camera were potentially cheating on their spouses. The betrayal wasn't just professional, it was deeply personal for multiple families. The business implications were staggering. Cabot wasn't just any employee, she was the chief people officer. Her job was to handle employee complaints, enforce workplace rules, and make sure everyone followed proper conduct standards. How could she do that job fairly when she was apparently having an affair with the CEO? Every decision she made could be questioned. Every policy she enforced might be compromised. Employees started asking uncomfortable questions. Were workplace rules being applied equally? Could anyone trust leadership to maintain professional boundaries? If the CEO and the head of HR were breaking the most basic workplace ethics, what did that say about the entire company culture? But the scandal was just getting started. Social media exploded with reactions. People couldn't believe what they had witnessed. The video went viral on every platform. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Everyone was sharing the footage and commenting on the drama. Hashtags started trending. Memes were created. The story took on a life of its own. What made this even more dramatic was how obvious their relationship appeared to be. They weren't just sitting next to each other. They looked like a real couple. Byron had his arms around Cabot in a way that suggested intimacy and familiarity. This wasn't their first romantic moment together. The comfort level between them indicated a relationship that had been going on for some time. The timing made everything suspicious. Cabot had only been hired a few months earlier. Did Byron create a position for her? Was the hiring process fair? Did other qualified candidates get passed over because Byron wanted to work with someone he was romantically involved with? These questions started circulating among industry insiders and company employees. Astronomer moved fast to control the damage, releasing a statement saying the company is committed to the values and culture that have guided us since our founding, and that leaders are expected to set the standard in both conduct and accountability. They launched an immediate investigation, knowing they had to act decisively to save their reputation. The investigation wasn't just for show. Real questions needed answers. How long had this relationship been going on? Did it influence hiring decisions? Were there conflicts of interest in how HR matters were handled? Did other employees suffer because of this relationship? The company's board knew these questions would keep coming until they got real answers. Even former company leaders weighed in on the situation, with former CEO Ry Walker commenting on Byron's character after the viral video sparked the investigation. When company founders start questioning current leadership publicly, everyone knows the situation is beyond repair. The business world was watching closely. This wasn't just about one company, it was about leadership accountability across all industries. Other CEOs were taking notes. Board members everywhere were reviewing their own policies about workplace relationships. The scandal was becoming a teaching moment for corporate America. Media coverage intensified daily. Business news networks were covering the story. Industry publications were analyzing the implications. Social media influencers were giving their opinions. The story had everything people love in a scandal: betrayal, power, money, and public humiliation. The pressure became unbearable quickly. Social media attention was relentless. Business partners were asking questions. Employees were losing confidence. Investors were concerned about company leadership. Byron was placed on administrative leave while the investigation continued, but everyone could see where this was heading. The company tried to maintain normal operations, but it was impossible. Every meeting was about the scandal. Every business call included questions about leadership. Customers were concerned about working with a company in chaos. Partners were reconsidering their relationships. The drama was affecting every aspect of the business. Within days of the investigation announcement, Andy Byron resigned as CEO of Astronomer. The board immediately named Pete DeJoy as interim CEO while they searched for a permanent replacement. Byron's resignation came right after the company's Friday announcement of their formal investigation, showing how quickly everything fell apart. The company tried to remind people of their actual business achievements, noting that before this week we were known as a pioneer in the data ops space, helping data teams power everything from modern analytics. But it was too late. Public perception had completely shifted from innovation to scandal. The speed of Byron's downfall was breathtaking. From respected CEO to resignation in less than a week. One moment of poor judgment, captured on camera and spread across the internet, destroyed years of career building and reputation development. This wasn't a gradual scandal that built over months. This was instant career death in the digital age. The story reveals how dangerous our connected world can be for people in leadership positions. There's no such thing as a truly private moment anymore. Stadium cameras, cell phone videos, social media sharing. Everything can become public instantly. One mistake, one moment of weakness, and millions of people can see it within hours. The power dynamics make this story even more troubling. When a CEO has a relationship with someone in HR, it creates serious problems for everyone else in the company. How can employees file complaints about workplace issues when the person handling those complaints is romantically involved with the top boss? The entire system becomes compromised. Other employees at Astronomer were dealing with the fallout too. They had to answer questions from friends and family about their workplace. They worried about their job security. They questioned whether their company had proper leadership. Many probably started looking for new jobs, not wanting to be associated with a scandal-ridden organization. Both marriages involved are likely destroyed. Children are affected. Extended families are dealing with public embarrassment. Friends are choosing sides. The ripple effects go far beyond just two people making bad choices at a concert. Real families are torn apart because of decisions that seemed private but became incredibly public. The financial implications for Byron personally could be enormous. Divorce proceedings are expensive, especially when infidelity is involved. His reputation in the business world is damaged, making future employment opportunities limited. He went from being a successful CEO to being known primarily for a cheating scandal. For Cabot, the situation is equally devastating. Her career in HR is likely over. Who would hire someone for a human resources position when they've been involved in such a public ethics violation? Her marriage is probably destroyed. Her professional reputation is ruined, all for moments of poor judgment that were captured on camera. For Astronomer, rebuilding will take years. They need new leadership that employees can trust. They need policies that prevent this kind of situation from happening again. They need to convince customers and partners that the company can maintain professional standards. The work to restore their reputation starts now, but the damage is already done. The incident serves as a warning to every executive and leader. Your personal choices affect more than just you. When you're in a position of authority, you're always representing your company, even during your personal time. The standards are higher, the scrutiny is constant, and the consequences of poor judgment are severe. This Coldplay concert moment will be remembered as a perfect example of how quickly careers can end in our digital world. It shows why workplace relationships between bosses and employees are so dangerous. It demonstrates how social media can turn a private moment into a public disaster instantly. The story continues to generate discussion about workplace ethics, leadership accountability, and the price of poor judgment. Every business school will probably use this case as an example of what not to do. Every CEO will think twice about their personal conduct after seeing how quickly Byron's career ended. Hit subscribe if you think leaders should face real consequences for breaking trust.